Hey, it's Kyle from CrewHR, and I just want to show you how to automate your employee scheduling with AI. And in this example, we're going to use the CrewHR scheduler, and we're going to use Claude as the AI agent. And we'll use a coffee shop as an example with, about, let's say 20 employees or so and multiple shifts, just to give you an idea of how easy it is to schedule your team now. So what you want to do is in CrewHR, we want to go into settings. And we want to get what's called our MCP key. It's like an API key. And don't worry about the jargon so much. Basically, this is a piece of code to let your AI talk to the scheduler. So we'll create the key. We're going to copy that. Then you want to go into Claude. If you're using Claude now, this also works with OpenAI. And what you want to do is go into settings, and you want to add a new connector. And then we want to add a custom connector. Sometimes this moves around the interface as they update the software. So just paste that key in there. Then what we want to do next is just let it load. So we're going to just configure. You don't need to do this, but it's just an extra step to allow more of the operation. So we're going to allow that now. Actually, it's a good idea to restart Claude because sometimes it needs to restart to recognize the connectors. So I'm just going to restart that. Okay, now what we want to do is, okay, I'm just going to say, let's test out the CrewHR MCP for the Bean and Brew coffee shop. It's going to do that, just making sure that it's connected. So while that's running, I'm just going to go back into here and we're going to see, you can see now there's no draft, or sorry, there's no schedule published. So that's what we're going to do now. So yeah, the MCP is running, which is great. Okay, so what we'll do is let's create a, basically that is it. I'm just gonna say, let's create a schedule draft for April 2026, see what it does. So it looks like it's just checking to see if there's any existing drafts. So it's looking to say, okay, we need 196 shifts. Great, so it looks like it's created a draft. Now let's go in here and see. Yeah, so okay, there's a draft there. We're gonna click into this. So there we go, it's created a schedule and it's highlighted that it was 95%, it was able to, fill the schedule with 95% accuracy. We can check some of the analytics to see, okay, you can see some of the shifts were spread evenly. It's highlighting any sort of violations. These may or may not be violations where you're from, depending on how much rest time and whatnot they have. And then what you can do is just go that last 5%, right? So you can see, okay, we have a barista shift that we need filled. So some of the rules that we had in place were that people need two days off in a row. So that's why that one wasn't filled. So you can just see that, or the maximum amount of days that someone could work. There's different rules that companies have in place. I'll show you those. Yeah, so there's a whole template of different rules in terms of max rest time, or sorry, minimum rest time and things like that. Let's just quickly go back to the scheduler, and we will now just publish this. You can save it as a template so it repeats, but we'll publish it. I'm not going to notify the staff right now. We'll publish the schedule. Yeah, now it takes us to the main scheduler, and you can see that that was published. And now we can simply share it with the staff if we want. There's different ways to view the schedule as well. So you can view that as a simple list. You can print it, and we can share it. So you can see we're just going to call it April schedule. We'll generate a link. We'll take that. So if you want, you can just share this schedule with their team, and they can, filter it based on their own schedule, and that's totally fine. Or one last thing I wanted to show you was actually on the schedule, you can see it's accommodated for vacation time and sick time, so it hasn't scheduled people during those time off periods. Look, and there's a lot more to CrewHR than just automating your employee schedules. There's timesheets and time off and attendance, if your company notices and whatnot. But that's a really quick, simple way to create a staff schedule for a coffee shop. So hopefully you liked the video. If you have any questions about CrewHR, check it out at crewhr.com, and we'll talk to you again next time. Thanks.